So in this video, I'm gonna be breaking down what happened today on Tuesday on EURUSD and what we could expect for London tonight and tomorrow morning, and maybe for the rest of the week. So once again, I'm gonna be doing these videos from scratch. I'm literally giving you guys my strategy from zero. All you guys have to do is pay attention, see what I do, the first thing I do to the last thing I do when I analyze the graph, and I'm literally giving you my strategy for free. So take advantage of this shit, because I promise you this shit took a lot of time and effort to get everything to tweak to how it is right now. So just pay attention. All right, so I'm gonna break down a sell limit that I placed here, analysis that I sent on my Telegram this morning, and I told you guys the target that we were gonna hit, why that was the target. I'm gonna break everything down right now from scratch. So first things first, let's just go into replay mode. And since we're trading today right here during New York, we'll just literally replay that now. But we're gonna see what I saw when I sat down and how my graph was. So first things first, if my graph is empty, what I'm gonna do is draw the highs and lows of days. So again, the high and low of day is gonna be one previous trading day. So if we're trading on Monday, or I'm sorry, today's Tuesday, the high and low of day is going to come from Monday. So we're trading Tuesday, high and low of day is coming from Monday, one previous trading day. And it's going to be the lowest point and highest point between Frankfurt and New York. Asia session does not count. So it's going to look like this. This is going to be our low of day, our high of day, our highest point right here. Notice this is the first thing I do when I sit on the graph. So this is going to be our high of day right here. And then since we're trading Tuesday, our previous high and previous low of day is going to be two previous trading days. So we're trading Tuesday, it's going to come from Friday, which is two previous trading days. So here we go, the lowest point between Frankfurt and New York, this point right here, previous low of day, previous low day, and our previous high of day right here, previous high of day. Okay, perfect. So once I'm done with that, now I'm going to go into the higher time frames like the daily and weekly and just show you guys what we're working with and what I expect. So first things first, I know we're coming from this weekly supply that I've been mentioning, so we're just going to draw that real quick. This supply right here, this is our supply that gave us this push. Notice how we pulled back. We're having this bearish momentum now once we entered the supply. And if we go to the daily, I'm gonna mark some very specific points. So this is the supply on the weekly. We also have this supply on the daily, just to keep in mind that this is the previous contrary candle that created the push. So we have the supply on the weekly, supply on the daily, just things to keep in mind. But the first thing that I do see right here, so on the higher time frame, let's also mark this demand zone right here. This is our demand zone. They give us a push to the upside. So I'm just keeping that in mind as well. We have this area here. We have also this let me break this down for you guys. Very simple. So notice how when we touch notice how when we touch this weekly supply on the daily, this is on the daily time frame. Notice we have a left, a head, and we're gonna get a right shoulder somewhere in right here. And more than likely, we're gonna see price come into this area to continue to the downside. So that's something I do see happening. But before we get into that, let me break down what we did this morning. So now let's go to H1. I'm just marking very specific points. Okay, so this morning, the first target that I had, and I sent this to the group, was this area right here. Notice on H1, this is our daily demand zone. But on H1, notice this candle right here, this previous contrary candle that gave us this push. This is an area of demand. So we just marked this like that. I'm just going to mark the candle. And this was the first target that I mentioned. And I told you guys that this is where price is coming this morning from. And let's see what price happened. Well, what price did after we interacted with the zone. Okay, so notice we're here during pre-New York. This is our target. Now let's break it down even more. Let's go to M5, M15, and see what we were actually working with at the time of trading. So what I told you guys was that noticing right off the bat, notice how this is our main target on H1. We're coming from a weekly supply, so we're in a bearish momentum right now. So we're looking for sells, and everything is pointing towards sells. We have this target down here, and we also have this M15 supply that was created during right here. This M15 supply that was created during Frankfurt. Price gave this distribution, pulled back during London, and you can see that the distribution continued heading towards our target. So now, what do I see when I sit down at 9 in the morning or 8:30 in the morning to analyze the graph? I see this M15 supply that I told you guys. I literally said it this morning. That price is gonna pull back here. I literally told you guys that price was gonna do this. Pull back here and continue the distribution to this area here, being our H1 demand zone, and let's see what happened. I'm literally gonna give you guys a trick right now. If you're paying attention, just write this shit down because this is the real fucking sauce. Everything's for free now, but just know in a few months from now, if I do sell a course, just know I'm literally gonna charge for what I'm about to tell you right now because this shit is sauce. Okay, so pay attention. Notice, what do we have here? We have this M15 supply zone. Okay, but inside the M15 supply zone, we also have this M1 supply right here. Perfectly. So I will take and I will place a sell limit at the M1 supply always if there's like an M5 or M15 that aligns with that M1. I will not take a trade off of an M5 or M15 zone if there's not an M1 zone inside of it. If not, I will wait for price to reach that area and give me a confirmation. So I had my sell limit right here. I'm not going to lie. Right here. It looked like this. My sell limit was right here. And this is the main target right here. Okay, so I literally just broke down everything for you guys from scratch. We have this M15 supply. We have this our target down here. Let's see what happened. All right, look at this bullshit. Price misses the M15 supply. By literally 2 pips, but you guys can see exactly what I was talking about. This is M15 supply, and let's see what happens next. Notice. Check this out. Price literally pulls back almost exactly to where I'm talking about, and then we see the distribution come to our target, our H1 demand zone. Now check out what happens when price touches this area. Look at this. Keep in mind that in this area that we are right now is a demand zone that created this push all the way up here to the upside. This push came from this area right here, like this demand zone. So let's see what happens when price interacted with it today. So let's go back. Just wanted to point that out for you guys. All right, so let's see. We go back to M1. All right, let's continue. All right, check this shit out. Look at all this volume coming in from this H1 supply. I mean the H1 demand. So originally this was the trade that we were looking for. We were going to take our trade, our sell from here, from this M15 supply to this H1 target. Would have been literally a easy 1 to 3, 1 to 4 trade. It didn't activate by 2 pips, but it doesn't matter. So let's delete this because this did not, the sell limit did not activate, but everything is on point. So we just delete this. And then notice what happens after price touches our demand zone. Notice how price comes in. It gives us a left. I'm gonna break this down for you guys. When you see a left, a head, and a right shoulder, what's really going on is we have this demand, a manipulation, and then we have a distribution and a pullback. So it's gonna be the left, the head, and the right shoulder would have looked something like this. The right shoulder is a little bit higher here, but normally the right shoulder would have been like somewhere right here, and that's always our entry. But notice how all this volume is coming out of this demand zone. So let's see what we could expect for tonight. So I'm going to leave my graph empty like right now, and let's see what we're currently working with and what we could see tonight expect. So check this shit out, guys. Holy shit. Look at this. Oh shit. Look at all this volume that came out of this. Okay, there we go. Shit, I almost lost it for a second. Look at all this volume that came out of this H1 demand. Let's delete this because price already broke through these areas. Holy shit, I don't know why my screen is tripping out. Okay, but you can see price pulled back into this H1 demand zone, and you can see price literally shooting to the upside with a lot of volume coming from this H1 demand zone. So let's see what we're working with right now and what we could expect for tonight. So the first things first, I'm gonna since we're trading for tomorrow, we're gonna delete our previous high and previous low of days because we're gonna be trading on Wednesday. So check this out. We delete this, and then now, since we're going to be trading tomorrow, which is Wednesday, our previous high and previous low day is going to be previous days, so it's coming from Monday. So this becomes a previous high of day. This becomes the previous low of day. And then our high and low of day is coming from Tuesday, which was today. So it's going to be right here. High of day. Low of day right here. And I do this on M5, guys. You guys that ask, I do this. M5 is the best time frame. So keeping this in mind, notice that we just touched this H1 demand zone and we're having a pullback to the upside. Well, clearly there was orders in this area, because you could see as soon as price touched, look at this volume shooting up. So let's look at on a higher time frame and see where price could actually pull back to and what we could expect for tonight. So holy shit, this is a very, very clean setup that we could be expecting. This is something that is very likely for tonight. So saying how we were coming from this weekly supply zone that we're having a bearish pullback on a higher time frame, I definitely do think price is going to pull back to this area on the daily time frame, which is very likely right here, this area right here, and give us the right shoulder that we're expecting, the left head, right shoulder. So I definitely see price pulling back to this area here and continuing the sells from this area. So let's go to like M15 and see what we could expect on this time frame. So yeah, guys, so that's very likely. I saw an H1 supply as well. Let me mark that right here. So notice we have this right shoulder, which is our supply on the daily, and we also have the supply on the H1 right below it. So this, I definitely do see price pulling back into this area more than likely tonight. So it's gonna look something like this. Actually, let's do it like this. Look something like this. This is definitely what I'm expecting for tonight. And we'll continue the sales from this area. So let's see. We just have to wait for, obviously, see what London does. It could be a very likely scenario that London pulls us back to this area, and then New York continues to sell from this area. But this is definitely what I expect. Of course, nothing is 100% in the market. The market can shoot down from here. But from what's presented right now, what the sessions have done and what we're working with, this is what I see happening. Of course, we adjust every session. When I come to trade, I see what the market did in London, and I will adjust. But for now, this is a very likely scenario. So hopefully you guys can pick up on the gems that I dropped. And I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.